Time for Give Me the Headlines, presented by Hyundai. That's exactly what we're going to do right now. Time for the newspaper to come out, but for that to happen, you need a headline. We got two good games here to talk about. We've saved them. Hyundai should be thanking us for this. This is a good segment here. We got the Ravens-Broncos, then we got the Bengals-Raiders. So let's start with the Ravens-Broncos, a 41-10 victory for Baltimore. Your headline for this one is?
Give him his flowers.
I like that one.
As in Zay Flowers.
And him as Lamar.
In him. He's him right now. Yeah, him as in Lamar, because, Lamar's the MVP of football. Jared Goff's been great, so we know that, and he's right up there. But Lamar won the MVP last year. This year is way better than last year.
Agreed.
It's not even close.
He should win it this year. They should reevaluate last year.
Right. Last year was kind of like, it's not a great year. Lamar was real good, but nobody else was. So I guess he's the MVP, and they're the 1 seed. This year, it's like, really, other than the first 2 weeks, every week is just like, holy crap, what a throw, what a run, holy crap, what a scramble and a throw. He's got it all working. And like I talked about with your Detroit Lion football team, it's just like, what do you do? What do you do to stop the Ravens offense? Where does it start? I still don't even think they're patient enough with the running game. I said that a little bit on our Wednesday podcast. But between these three guys, Henry, Flowers, and Lamar, and then, of course, we know they got all the tight ends and some other receivers that are damn good too, and then a pretty good system. Todd Monken and what he does on the offensive side of the ball, it's damn creative. They're on fire, and Lamar is playing out of this world good. I don't care if it's extending plays or being surgical in the pocket, which is my favorite word of the day today. He can do both. And he was great. This game was crazy, Amin. It really was. I don't even know where to start, but it was crazy.
It was one of those games when I was watching, I was like, well, this game was close early. And then I go, well, they always start 0-0. So you really can't say that all the time.
No, but you're right. This is one where it was 41-10 and it was ass whooping. But early on, there was signs of the Broncos aren't outclassed here. The first pass of the game, interception. The receiver should have caught the ball. It goes intercepted. It was a little bit off target, but he got two hands on the ball. Bo Nix interception. The Ravens then score a touchdown, 7-0, right? Broncos, the next drive down the field, 4th and 3. Bo Nix has a wide open receiver in the end zone, and he overthrows him. And then they got stopped on another 4th down, I believe, maybe a drive or two later. But it was at first here for a little while where you went, oh, no, they're okay. It's 10-7. It's midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, Bo's lowering the shoulder, knocking some people over.
Caught the pass on the Philly special where he mossed the defender and all of that. But after that, it's just Baltimore started grooving on offense, which I did not expect to that extent. And Denver just couldn't keep up. And that's really all it comes down to. This Denver defense is really damn good, but they got, exposed by the best offense in football today in the Baltimore Ravens.
This is crazy. The Baltimore Ravens are getting to a point where they are amongst the best ever through 9 games. So they're the 3rd team in NFL history with 20 or more points and 375 or more total yards in each of their first 9 games. They have been very, very consistent. No team that they have played so far has been able to figure out how to shut them down completely.
Well, I feel like ever since they got out of the week 2, and we talked about the first 2 games, the Raiders and the Chiefs, where it was too pass happy, and they became somewhat more balanced, or at least put a few games on. Last week, they could have ran the ball more, but once at least they put a few games of hey, we will run the ball and we will overpower you, it feels like the floodgates have opened. It does. And again, you guys, I say you guys as in your Detroit Lions, it's we don't need to drop back 45 times to throw for 300 yards or do any of that. When you're functioning so well on all levels, it's you drop back. Oh, the guy's wide open over the middle because, they were worried about Derrick Henry up the middle or Lamar keeping the ball around the edge or whatever else. But just too determined. They were a team on a mission after blowing that game last week in Cleveland. And, once they settled in and kind of got a feel for how the Broncos were playing them, they torched them throughout the football day.
There's Derrick Henry right there, 106 yards on 23 carries. Forced missed tackles, 13, tied for the most missed tackles forced in a game this season. I think it was week 2 or 3. I said on this podcast, I go, he's clearly lost a step. And he took that to heart, and he was mad about that. And I take full credit for what we see because I don't know. Like, obviously, he's functioning in a very good offense right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He doesn't look. He looks like.
No, he's
Henry
really
of old.
damn good. I mean, he's not as fast as he once was. Like, he's not going to go 9, but he's still fast enough.
He's burned a couple this year. I think he's
fast
up amongst
enough.
the leaders.
No, that's exactly right. And lost a step from going like really fast to just real fast, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about.
I'm trying to compliment the old you.
Yeah,
Derek, don't take offense.
Yeah, he's really good. And you know what today I think puts to rest a little bit is you can't blitz Baltimore and the Ravens, or at least you can't think you're going to do it consistently and come away unscathed. Like Lamar, and I think this could have been a question 2 years ago, and even to last year a little bit, and even into the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs where they blitzed them and they didn't have the greatest plan. I have not seen a game this year where I go, ooh, that team blitzed them. Ooh, the Ravens got to figure some stuff out. That's not the right approach. They seem to have the right answers. Lamar seems to know where to go to the ball with all that type of stuff. And then when you don't rush or blitz, it's hard to stop Lamar too, because then if people aren't open right away, he just buys more time and then they get open eventually anyways. They really got it rolling. I still don't think their defense is great, and I think there was still plays there to be had by Denver's offense today, and I don't think the Ravens are 31 points better than the Denver Broncos. I don't. I think this is a game where the game got away. They didn't make some plays early on in the football game to kind of put some pressure on the Ravens, and then the Ravens just got going, and the Broncos couldn't keep up. But, Ravens, obviously, best offense in football, one of the best teams in football. We get that, but I still got questions about that defense. I don't feel like, they turned a corner today and watch out for them going forward.
And I do want to give you your flowers as well.
Wow, thank you.
I like to do that from time to time.
You.
You remember when you said that Zay Flowers was the best wide receiver coming out of that draft class, and everyone was like, "You're crazy."
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Right.
And I forget who else was in that class.
Yeah,
but he was the name that most people had number one. And remember when everyone said Marvin Harrison Jr. was you're crazy for not having him number one, and then you got Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors up there. You've done really well with your wide receivers here the last few years. I don't want that to go. I know you're the quarterback guy.
Yeah. I've thrown to a few receivers in my day, too.
Well, exactly.
I know what they look like.
And you certainly have a type, right? But your type has done very well in the NFL here.
Thank you.
Lately.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it for throwing me some flowers.
Exactly.
Appreciate it.
All right, now we go to the Bengals and Raiders. Another guy you love, Joe Burrow, and he does it again. 5 touchdown passes, second career game with that many. Both have come this season. Your headline for this 41-24 win over the Raiders is?
All 5 Burrows.
All 5
he threw a touchdown on Staten Island. He threw a touchdown in Brooklyn. He threw a touchdown in Manhattan. He threw a touchdown in Queens.
Yeah.
He threw a touchdown in the Bronx. I hit them all, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Boom.
Which in Vegas, they probably have all that stuff
That's East Coast
there.
bias right there. How dare Pete do that? Not everybody knows the 5 boroughs.
You can go to Paris in Vegas. You can go anywhere. You can go to New York in Vegas. So I'm sure that they have
know the 5 boroughs.
Exactly.
I said Manhattan, Pete.
Wait, where was the game, though? Was it in Cincinnati, though?
It was in Cincinnati,
okay,
yes.
so it still doesn't work. But, yeah, the Bengals, it didn't matter where they played. And he actually had another interception, or a touchdown with the interception.
Yeah.
He had 6.
Yes,
but yeah, the offense and the passing offense for the Bengals woke up against the Raiders for sure.
It's I said this before. I'll say it again. He's the best pocket passing quarterback, back to our surgicality word and all that, in football. He's the best moving in the pocket. I'm talking about just slide, shuffle, move in the right spot, stay in a throwing position. He's the best quarterback versus zone defenses in all of football. I know we've broken this down before, but his ability to kind of feel a defense and then go, ooh, this guy moved, boom, let me just get him the ball there. Or, ooh, wait, I got time, let me move this guy a little. Jamar Chase is coming right behind him from a big throw, boom, I'll hit him. He's great that way. In fact, it felt like, as I was watching the game, and I don't know this for sure, but I think he beat them out of zone, where they basically went, we give up. We're going to play man-to-man. We can't play zone. He's going to tear us apart. Let's change it up. And that's what it looked like. He was on fire today, on point. Yeah, he threw the one interception on a screen pass, and he seemed like he was pissed off the rest of the football game after that.
Afterwards, he said, quote, "I'm going to strive for perfection every day in every game. Until that happens, what is there to be happy about?" Dang.
Yeah, and hey, it's going to have to be about him. So I appreciate him putting the pressure on himself.
Pete wants to know, if we took the records out of it right now,
right,
would Joe Burrow be the MVP this season?
I think the 2 hottest quarterbacks in football are Burrow and Lamar. All right, I know Jared Goff is the most efficient, and I get that, but when you just ask me about playmaking and like some of that right now and big plays, and Goff doesn't even have to, so I don't put that blame on him,
100%.
right? Because you guys are so good at everything else. Yeah, I said this on Football Night in America tonight. I actually said they're the 2 hottest quarterbacks in football. They're playing each other on Thursday night. And yes, if Joe Burrow and them weren't 4-5 and they were 6-3, him and Lamar would be the 2 lead candidates for MVP right now. Same division, right? I think they both have 20 touchdown passes. I think Lamar's thrown 2 interceptions. I believe Joe Burrow's thrown 3 on the year. So it just tells you what it is. But, again, this team's not winning. He's got some work to do. And I think to what he's saying and why he's going to strive for perfection, because he knows if he doesn't play awesome and if they don't tear it up on the offensive side of the ball, this just in, their defense still sucks. Yes, welcome to Cincinnati. We visited all 5 boroughs, and we can't find their defense still.
So looking for anyone to step up. And Trey Hendrickson did step up in this game.
He's the only guy that steps up.
4 sacks, 7 quarterback hits.
Right.
But they need more.
They need more. I mean, again, the game at one point was 10-10. And, I mean, I wrote in my notes, Raiders throwing the ball on the Bengals early, kind of doing whatever they want, right? Raiders moving the ball again. So all that was there, but it was countered with, oh my gosh, Burrow surgical, Burrow unreal good. Oh my gosh, Chase Brown good runs, Burrow surgical again, right? So I really love surgical today. I don't know why. But either way, Burrow was really, really impressive. Bengals, I'm not giving up on them. Playoff type, right? They don't look like a team that can make a run to the Super Bowl. But they're the type of team when they get in the playoffs that go, you don't want to see Joe Burrow coming to town in the wild card round and that, right? You don't want to see that. Still dangerous, but they still got work to do on that defensive side. Will they make a trade on the defensive side here the last week? You know, people ask me all the time, who do you think is going to make a trade? It's like it's so all over the place, and everybody's looking to make a move and whatever. I hear so many things during the week. I don't know what to believe anymore. Right, but they are one team I look at that go, yes, they need one defensive guy anywhere on the field other than linebacker. Secondary D lineman, they could use it for sure, but Trey Hendrickson, what a day for him.
Special shout out to Chase Brown, 27 carries, 120 yards for him, and so ground and pound, 6 touchdowns last 6 games for Brown. Had 1, I guess, through the air today. Yep, caught 5 balls out of the backfield as well. So all good for the Bengals. For the Raiders, you're just looking forward to Shedeur Sanders, and your quarterback next year.
Something like that.
It does seem that makes sense. He should be a Raider.
They bench Gardner today.
Desmond Ridder goes in,
and I don't know if it warranted benching. I was a little surprised by that, but I always got the feel that Antonio Pierce didn't really ever want to go with Gardner Minshew. He's always made a little comments that kind of I felt like that kind of went, I don't think he really believes in him. And if Aiden O'Connell was healthy, I'd think he would be the starter. But yeah, they go to Desmond Ridder, who did a pretty good job coming into the football game and made a few plays and throws for them.
And that was Give Me the Headlines, presented by Hyundai. So those papers can now be delivered throughout all 5
all
boroughs.
America. Yo, homies, thanks for watching. Yeah, it's time. The NFL season is here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
You can hit subscribe to get all the weekly picks, plus our Sunday recaps as the games are happening.
Oh, you know it. Nobody does that better than us. Thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out. We'll see you next time on Unbuttoned.